Hi there, I trust you are well. Luandile Zonke speaking. And in this video, I want to show you how I managed to brew a 30 US dollar trading account to over 100 USD account. Okay. So this is a second episode of growing a small account. Okay. And this is probably the last video I do of growing anything, you know, um, extremely small to 100 USD. Okay, if you have not yet seen the first video where I grew a $10 to 100 USD, I'll put the link of the video in the description down below. So make sure you check that video out. Now, this is the second time, okay, that I'm growing, but this time around a $30 to 100 USD. And before I take you through the trades, because it's only three trades that have enabled me to hit this target or reach this goal. Okay. So, um, yeah, so I just wanted to do it for the second time because maybe someone out there may say I was lucky the first time to flip that account. Maybe, it's true, maybe not. But then I've done this numerous times. I've done this over and over again. Maybe there were times where I grew like 5 USD accounts to like $15, 10 USD to $50, 10 USD to $100, So it's not the first time, but this is not something that I advocate for. This is not something that I encourage, trading such tiny accounts, like I said in the first video, especially if you're not someone with this who has mastered the skill already. So if you're still learning, this is just a request for a disaster. If you're still learning, there is an alternative way on how to play it safe with a small account such as your $10 accounts, your $20 accounts, your $50 accounts, anything less than 100 USD. There's a safer way on how to go about it. And it's something that I will share on the next video. So make sure you are subscribed. I'll probably drop that video in a few days to come. Subscribe and hit those notification bells. Okay. So this is the last video where I'm taking anything less than 100 USD to 100 USD because now I want to move on to the second step. Because like I said, the goal is to now get from 100 USD to 1,000 USD, which is something that I'll focus on now going forward. Okay. So the trades that have enabled me, let me just open up here. As you can see, currently we're sitting on our equities 107 USD. So should we close these trades, my account will go from 30 USD to like 107 USD. Okay. So I am holding DEX German 30, and I did not over risk here. Someone may probably see that this 0.10. Okay, obviously it is over risking because it's a 30 USD account. Even if I use like 0.01, it's over risking because 0.01 is too big for a $30 account, you know, which is the minimum. So, but for the broker that I'm using, okay, this 0.10 is equivalent to 0.01. The broker that I'm using, so you can only enter a trade at 0.1, when it comes to your DAX, your NASDAQ, and your US 30. Okay, so this is equivalent to 0.01. So my first trade was DAX right here. And if you could see the profits, I'm currently holding like $62 on this trade alone, and it's only one entry. And I did break it down on my previous video. The reason why I entered a sell here was the market was in an uptrend. Okay, maybe let me do it again. The market was in an uptrend right here. Initially, the market was in an uptrend. And what happened was the market then uh, reversed here. So it dropped and it broke the uptrend. So at this point, what I was waiting for was for the market to retrace. and give me a confirmation to enter short. So the market did indeed a retrace, and I saw that it failed to break above this trend line, which for me gave me an indication that now the market may potentially move to the downside. Okay, it may potentially drop to the downside, which is the reason why I entered my first short position here, which is why I entered a sell right here. This was my first sell, and indeed, the market did drop to the downside from this point onwards. It dropped to the downside, as you can see, and it's still dropping. So I did say that, just trying to fix this. Okay, yeah, I did drop here. So I did say that this was a head and shoulders pattern as well. So this on my head right here, maybe let me make this shorter or smaller. Make this smaller. This was my head. And this was my left shoulder. This was my left shoulder. This was my right shoulder. This was my right shoulder. Yeah. So, and this was my neckline right here. This was my neckline. So the market has now broke my neckline, which means that I can now scale in with a second entry. Okay, because I was waiting for a break, a neckline break to scale in with the second entry. So right now I'm just going to enter my second entry, scaling in. Okay, probably have my stop loss here, and my TP will, I'll put it at the same, pretty much the same TP of my first entry. So I'm scaling in now with the second position. Maybe let me trail my stop to break even, first entry stop. Okay. So that's DEX. That's DEX. So the next one was USD CAD. USD CAD. This is my next, uh as you can see right here, I've got German 40, which is DEX, and I've got USD CAD. I'm holding like $9 on the first position. As you can see, I entered with 0.01, and on my second entry, when I scaled in, I'm holding like $6.44. Okay, and this is the entry that I just entered now, the fourth one, which was scaling in on DEX. Okay, so let me break down US CAD. Okay, USD CAD, USD CAD, USD CAD. Let me break down USD CAD. So right here, I bought because the market was in a downtrend initially, and the market broke this downtrend. And at this point, I was waiting for the market to retrace and give me a confirmation to go long. So it retraced, and at this point, the market gave me a confirmation now, as it showed me, a bullish momentum, which is the reason why I entered my first buy at this point, which is why I entered my buy right here. This was my first buy. And as you can see, as the market moved into my direction, I trailed my stop. So I trailed my stop. Now I've secured profits for the first entry. It's a risk-free trade for the first entry. And I I then entered or scaled in with the second entry as soon as the market broke this previous resistance level. Okay. As you can see right here, I scaled in right at the resistance level. I scaled in with the second buy. So I bought for the second time right here. And as you can see, the market is still pushing to the upside. So what's going to happen right now is that I'm waiting for the market to reach my targets. I've got my targets right here. This is my first TP for the first entry. This is my second TP for my second entry. But the market may or may not reach that target. What I'll do in the meantime, I'll trail my stop, trail my stop, trail my stop to secure profits. Then if the market decides to reverse, then it will take me out in profits. So that's about it. As you can see, I'm holding like 108 USD in profits. Like even the trade that I just took right now in front of you, which is scaling in on DEX, is currently in profits. So now how do you grow a small account? Look, there is an alternative way, a safer way on how to trade a small account, because trading anything less than 100 USD is very risky. It's very risky, especially if you are not yet consistently profitable. Okay. So that's why I'm saying stick around, stay tuned, wait for the video that I'm going to drop very soon, or depending on when you're watching this video, if it's out already, then I'll put the link in the description down, how to play it safe. There is a safer way on how to trade like smaller accounts. But if you want to trade like anything less than 100 USD, like I just did, then number one, wait for your setup, A plus setup. So wait for a high probability setup. That's number one. Number two, enter with 0.01 and nothing above that. That's number two. Enter with 0.01. Okay. Even 0.01 is large on its own. So just enter one trade with 0.01. Okay. So if you do manage to get a quality trade set up, scale in, you know, with another 0.01. Shoot the market. Maybe if you're in a buy, shoot the market like I just did right here. Maybe if you are in a buy and the market breaks the resistance level, scale in with a second position. You know, so make sure you make the most out of that high probability setup. Things not to do: don't enter barcodes. Don't risk anything above 0.01. So don't enter barcodes. Just enter one trade in a one trade per, I don't know, per setup or per instrument, and only scale in when it makes sense to do so, right? So no barcode entries. Uh, don't over risk too much. And I feel like if you do that, see high probability setup and use 0.01 and scale in when it's necessary to do so, that is how I'd go about trading a small account. And I'm having a number of people asking me how can they become part of my services. So we do have a lifetime mentorship program, which is 187 USD. It covers everything, and signals are also part of the lifetime mentorship. I'll teach you the perfect entries. I'll teach you this strategy, how to trade it. I'll teach you how to grow a small account to a very big account. You know, my main account is like over, okay, I've made a withdrawal now, but I'm trading like over 10,000 USD. Okay, so that's about it. But I also do trade like smaller accounts, especially now that I'm trying to illustrate or demonstrate for you that it's not about trading a big account. It's not about trading a small account. As much as it's better to trade a bigger account, you know, but only when you do have the skill. You understand? So after mentorship, 187 USD, and then it's lifetime up until you get to a point where you are confident, you know, to trade by yourself. And our signal services, there are two ways on how you can go about taking advantage of my signals. Okay. The first one is that I charge 87 USD for signals for 3 months. And then alternatively, alternative, alternatively, you can sign up with the brokers that we are using and fund at least 100 USD, and then you'll be part of our signals for 3 months, but it's only for 3 months. Okay. So that's about it. So it's either you pay 87 USD or you sign up with the broker that I'm using and fund at least 100 USD, then you can take part of our signal. So that's it with my services and the people that have been asking me about that. For now, I'll leave it here. Don't forget to like, to subscribe, comment down below to let me know what do you think. And I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.